Guys, this is Gerardo Sumano from Karen Asplin's team, and in this second section of this high-end retouching tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to do a technique called frequency separation. This technique will allow us to separate the texture from the color background so we can edit both separately, and when we try to smooth out the skin, we don't lose any texture. So here I have my picture prepared. I took out the blemish and most of the imperfections with the patch tool. If I turn it off, you can see the before and after. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna zoom in with Command Plus, and I normally like to sharpen my portraits so I can get more detail on the eyes and in the skin. So if I go to Filter and I choose Sharpen or Sharp Mask, um, I'm gonna have this window here, and I normally want to have more amount at radius. It depends on how much quality your image has, on how much you can sharpen it. Probably like it about that radius 2.2, amount 166, but you can change it depending on what you like. I'm gonna press OK, and after I've done that, I'm gonna create two layers. I'm gonna copy this one 2 times, pressing Command J, 1, 2. And in this first one, I'm gonna be calling it color, and this second one I'm gonna call it texture. So I'm gonna edit the color first one. I'm gonna go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and I'm gonna add some blur to this layer. And pretty much what I want is to have the colors smooth out, and I want that the shadows and highlights kind of merge evenly. So I don't want to overdo it. I can zoom out by pressing Command minus, and I like it about there. I'm gonna press OK, and then I'm gonna bring this layer down, and I have texture on top. I'm gonna edit this one. I'm gonna go to Image, Apply Image, and I'm gonna apply this layer to the color layer. So here in the layer section, I'm gonna make sure it says color. On the blending mode, I make sure it says subtract, and the numbers here needs to be 2 and 128. I'm gonna hit OK, and then I'm gonna change the blending mode from normal to linear light, and then I'm gonna merge these two layers. Pressing shift, I can select the other one, and then this icon right here, I group them, sorry. So if I turn off this group, you can see that nothing happened, and this is actually what it's supposed to happen. Um, I am going to edit then this color layer with my lasso tool, and making sure I have a feather. Right now I have a 35 pixels feather. I'm going to select an area that I want to smooth the shadows from the highlights, and go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and I can add as much blur as I like it. I need to make sure that I don't overdo it. I still want it to look natural. So I go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and you're gonna be doing this all around the portraits, like portrait about around the cheekbones, blur, Gaussian Blur, and this is gonna make the skin to look smoother. Okay, after I'm done with that, I'm gonna zoom in, and you can see I'm gonna turn this group off, and you can see the before, after, and you can see how frequency separation helped me to smooth out the color without losing any texture. So I hope you like this technique, and see you guys in the next tutorial.